History remembers the headlines, we find the bylines. This is the unsung. When we think of World War II heroes, we picture soldiers on the front lines, daring spies behind enemy lines, and powerful statesmen leading nations. But what if I told you one of the war's greatest saviors never fired a single shot? His name was Alan Turing, a brilliant Cambridge mathematician. His weapon wasn't a rifle, it was his mind. Turing achieved the impossible. He broke the Nazi Enigma code. This single act gave the Allies a direct window into German plans. A strategic advantage so immense it discredited with shortening the war by years and saving an estimated 14 million lives. He was, without a doubt, a hero. Yet after the war there were no parades, no public medals, no grand honors for Alan Turing. Instead, he faced prosecution, chemical castration, and a tragic early death. His name was systematically erased from official histories. His world-changing contribution locked away as a state secret. So how did the man who helped defeat fascism become a victim of the very society he fought to save? This is the story of a genius betrayed. Alan Turing was born in London in 1912, and it was clear from a young age that he was a prodigy. He excelled at King's College, Cambridge, but it was a paper he wrote in 1936 that truly signaled his genius. In it, he laid out the theoretical foundation for all modern computing. He imagined a universal machine capable of performing any conceivable calculation. We now call this revolutionary concept the Turing machine. It's the blueprint for the device you're watching this on right now. But before his ideas could reshape the civilian world, the world was plunged into war. In 1939, as conflict erupted across Europe, Turing joined a top-secret British intelligence operation, the government code and cipher school at a country estate known as Bletchley Park. His mission, a task many of the world's best minds considered impossible, was to crack the German Enigma code. The Enigma machine was a marvel of engineering, a portable encryption device used by the German military to send coded messages. With its rotating rotors and plugboard, it could scramble a message into one of 159 quintillion possible combinations. For an ordinary person to break it, they would need to check billions of settings a day. It was a mathematical fortress, seemingly impenetrable. But Alan Turing didn't just want to break Enigma once. He wanted to systematize the break, to turn the fortress into an open book. His pivotal contribution was the design of an electromechanical device he called the bomb. This machine wasn't a weapon that exploded, it was a weapon of logic. The bomb could rapidly test thousands of potential Enigma rotor settings every single hour, automating what was an impossible manual task. It was a brute force calculator, but guided by Turing's elegant logic. It could hunt down the daily key settings and unlock the secrets within, and the secrets it unlocked were vital. The German naval Enigma, used by the deadly U-boats hunting Allied convoys in the Atlantic, was the toughest variant of all. The Battle of the Atlantic was a lifeline for Britain, and the U-boats were strangling it. Turing applied his unique insights and pioneering statistical methods to this naval code. His work allowed Bletchley Park to finally read the U-boat communications, pinpointing their locations and turning the tide in this critical battle. By mid-1941, thanks to Turing's systems, his team was decrypting Enigma messages on a daily basis. This fire hose of intelligence, codenamed Ultra, provided the Allies with actionable information on German troop movements, supply lines, and bombing raid targets. The advantage was incalculable. Winston Churchill himself called the work done at Bletchley Park the secret weapon that won the war. But the secret was absolute. Turing and his colleagues were bound by the Official Secrets Act. They had saved millions of lives, but they could never speak a word of it. Even after the war ended, Alan Turing's greatest achievement remained a secret he had to carry in silence. He was a hero, hidden in plain sight. So why was he erased? The answer is a grim combination of state secrecy and suffocating social prejudice. First, the Official Secrets Act. The methods used to break Enigma were deemed so vital to national security that the entire operation remained classified until the 1970s, decades after the war. In the official histories written in the 50s and 60s, there was no mention of Bletchley Park, no mention of Ultra, and certainly no mention of Alan Turing. It was as if he and his work had never existed. But the second reason is far more personal and cruel. In 1952, Turing went to the police to report a burglary at his home. During the investigation, he did something that seems routine today, but was life-shattering then. He was honest. He admitted to the police that he was in a homosexual relationship with an acquaintance of the main suspect. In 1950s Britain, this was not just a private matter. It was a crime. Turing was charged with gross indecency, the same law that had been used to prosecute Oscar Wilde decades earlier. The man who had saved the nation was now treated as a criminal by it. The court showed no leniency, offered no consideration for his unparalleled wartime service, which of course they couldn't even know about. He was given a horrific choice: go to prison or submit to chemical castration. This so-called treatment involved receiving regular injections of estrogen, a hormone therapy designed to neutralize his libido. He chose the therapy, hoping to avoid jail and continue his work. The injections caused profound physical and psychological suffering, fundamentally altering his body and mind. His conviction also meant his security clearance was immediately revoked. The father of modern computing and the master cryptanalyst was now barred from continuing his work for the government he had helped to save. Just 2 years later, in 1954, Alan Turing was found dead. The cause was cyanide poisoning. The coroner ruled it a suicide. He was only 41 years old. A mind that had helped win a world war and conceived of the digital age was extinguished, silenced by a state that punished him for who he loved. For decades, his story remained buried under layers of secrecy and shame, a footnote known only to a few. It wasn't until the ultra-secret was declassified and a new generation of historians and LGBTQ activists began digging that the truth of his monumental contribution and his tragic persecution finally started to come to light. The long process of correcting this historical injustice began slowly, but it did begin. In 2009, British Prime Minister Gordon Brown issued a formal, unequivocal public apology for the appalling way Turing was treated. He wrote, "We're sorry, you deserve so much better." Then, in 2013, Queen Elizabeth II granted him a posthumous royal pardon, officially absolving him of his crime. The recognition continued to grow. In 2021, the Bank of England unveiled a new £50 note, and the face on it was Alan Turing's. He was finally being celebrated as a national hero. Today, Turing's legacy is twofold. He is rightfully remembered as the father of computer science and a pivotal war hero. But his story has also become a powerful symbol, a stark reminder of how prejudice and bigotry can blind a society, causing it to turn on and destroy its greatest and most brilliant minds. His life forces us to ask, who are the Alan Turings of today? Who are the other figures, persecuted for their identity, whose contributions are still overlooked or erased from our history books? Let us know their stories in the comments below. Let's make sure no hero remains unsung. Thank you for watching. If you believe these stories matter, please subscribe to The Unsung. We'll see you next time.